Like, da da da, we'll be right back. And we'll be like, hey, we're back. What? So all the YouTubers have one of those little meme, like mini breaks with like jazzy music or something when they're doing videos. What's up, guys? This is Andrew, and this is Beers, Bikes, and Bros, which is going to be your new favorite spot to come hang out. Come crack a cold one with us. We already cracked them, or we would have played the clip. But we'll be, talking about weekly motorcycle things and drinking a few cold ones. Jacob?
Yeah, it's going to be me and Andrew. This is a place where we'll ramble on about all things motorcycles, cars, and whatever else comes to mind. This week, we'll actually be talking about CF Moto, hybrid motorcycles, and all things electric. Andrew, thoughts?
Definitely a hot topic for me. I'm a big fan of emissions and gasoline, so this industry going electric is better than the car world, in my opinion, but it's definitely it's a big change, but people are taking it pretty well.
Did you say that you're for emissions?
Yeah, I love emissions. Yeah.
I need a little breakdown there.
I can't say it because of federal law, but there's a part of my exhaust that isn't there.
Oh, yeah. No problem. Me personally, I do care about the environment.
Like polar bears and stuff?
Polar bears are my favorite bears.
Oh, your favorite bears?
They're getting too skinny.
Are they getting skinnier?
As a fluffy guy,
yeah.
I like to keep a couple pounds on myself because it keeps me warm. These polar bears are so hot that they had to lose some pounds. I'm not too fond of that. So zero emissions coming from a bike is fantastic.
Yeah, but a bike is so small it already produces hardly not.
Fun fact: do you know where the most emissions come from in the world?
Probably like boats.
That's a great guess.
Yeah.
It's actually cows' farts. Look it up. Fact check me.
Okay. Well, anyway, back to the motorcycles. Something that I wanted to talk about was the fact that driver assist systems in these modern day cars, lane assist and vibrating steering wheels and all that, they don't see motorcycles. The autopilot systems are not detecting them. They're not big enough. And there's actually a lawsuit going on in Seattle right now because of it.
That actually makes zero sense to me. Most of these self-driving cars, like when you look at the screen, it'll show you like people walking and stuff. You're telling me you can't see a motorcycle?
The lawsuit speaks for itself.
How many people are suing though?
Well, it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
If one doesn't see them, none of them are going to see them.
6 people are suing. I'm being told by my informant over here.
6 people. You see
but
what I mean?
Listen, that is 6 people out of 7 billion.
That's 6 customers.
Whoa! Don't make me sound bad here, man. That hurts my heart.
We're here for the rider. We're not here for the electric self-driving people.
But the electric self-driving vehicles are very beneficial to new time riders. And wouldn't you want a new time rider to get in there and have some fun? Some people are scared of manuals.
Well, modern day people are kind of weak. It's kind of the world we're in. But
what'd you say? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over me being right.
No, no. But there's some new mandates stating that auto braking systems should be integrated into all cars by 2029. But that could help. But no, it sounds good on paper. But if you look a little further down the paper, it says that these cars are still having issues detecting motorcycles even with the system they want to implement. So Audis, Buicks, Chevys, Kias, and Nissans all hit a motorcycle in a speed test under 31 miles an hour.
I mean, drive faster, I guess. I don't know. That doesn't sound good. But at the same time, there's really no way that we're going to get out of like electric vehicles or automated driving systems. Tesla is one of the biggest markets out right now. There's no stopping that. This motherfucker is in the government. I mean, at this point in time, it's really just improvement over improvement's sake.
All right, so I just wanted to point out that you're backing up the EVs. You're supporting the self-driving here.
All day.
I'd like to bring up that when you get behind the wheel of the car, what you do in the car is you drive.
Right.
So why are we putting that into a computer's hands?
Because computers are the fastest growing market in the world.
Computers hit motorcycles. That's what we're talking about.
People hit motorcycles.
No, the people who let the computer drive the car are hit the motorcycle. You know what I mean?
Matter of fact, do me a favor. Look up the statistics between people driving cars and hitting motorcycles and people in electric cars hitting motorcycles. It's going to be 6
people
versus
who drive electric cars suck
6,000.
at driving. It's going to be a ridiculous number.
It's going to be crazy because people hit people. At the end of the day, I think e-bikes are great for not only...
You say people hit people. Who else driving a car?
People. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I think e-bikes and e-cars, all that stuff, I think it benefits me, a person who enjoys those type of things, and you, and I'll tell you why. E-bikes not only make it easier for the driver to drive, but it also reduces fossil fuels, meaning we're spending less money on gas, so those people who are driving those manuals can reduce the cost that they're paying to drive those manuals.
All right, Jacob. So regardless of this braking system and auto driving that is killing off the passion that we love one by one, and you seem to not care. I also think it's worth noting that I know the idea of an EV sounds incredible. Oh, it's electric, you plug it in, it's zero maintenance. Well, the people who are most drawn to electric cars are eco-freaks. The eco-freaks fail to do their research to realize that the iron ore in the battery was mined by 12-year-old Taiwanese children in horrible work conditions. And then that is shipped across the country or across the world on a diesel electric boat. And then it's on a diesel electric boat again. All the componentry inside of that battery is mined and shipped all over the world 3 or 4 times. And they actually say that a Prius produces more emissions before it's ever put together than an average car. So how can you buy an EV and you think it's a good thing? The life of the car is shorter, the maintenance is, and that's something in the motorcycle world that people are going to have to get used to. Is if you need a top end on a 4-stroke or a 2-stroke, it's not that big of a deal. If you need a battery pack for your Stark Varg, which we'll talk about later, you're out half a motorcycle. Like that is ridiculous to me. The cost of electric upkeep is stupid.
The cost of electric upkeep is up there, but at the same time, if you're whipping around in a diesel truck and your radiator blows or you need tires on that thing, you're going to spend a shit ton of money. Matter of fact, let's go back to the children working in fields. That's crazy. I understand where you're coming from. That's terrible. But the people making chocolate are 12-year-olds in fields. We need to change these things, and that's okay. These things can be changed. But emission is emission. I would like to pollute the earth less because it stops global warming. Global warming is a serious problem. It actually...
Some of our office ladies would agree with that.
Yeah. Claudia. And it's also heart healthy for the human. Driving EVs, actually, studies have shown, lead to better air intake in the person driving them compared to,
I just drive with my windows down all the time. I get more fresh air.
You're just inhaling more pollution, brother. The only real solve is to get rid of the pollution from step 1. Kill the cows. Because it's the farts, man, I'm telling you.
Oh, that's right. I don't know. I just feel like there's not an EV out there that even remotely matches the experience that you can get from any internal combustion vehicle, whether it be a go-kart or a car or a motorcycle or anything. There's no feel.
That was so good that it sounded scripted. That was great. Good. I'll give you a bump on that.
Thanks.
I like where you're coming from. I understand your looks and your values.
Yeah.
I think, me personally, I would have to chalk it up to agree to disagree. At the end of the day, things are going to be bad and things are going to be good. I do believe that going to an EV is an improvement for Earth all around. These lithium fields, they're a bad thing. Understandable. But at the end of the day, if we took away every bad thing, there'd be no room for the good things.
Okay. But when they recycle a regular gas-powered car, every piece of metal is melted down and repurposed.
Right.
When they melt down an EV, they take the chassis and they remove the battery, and the toxic waste is normally like dumped into the ground, or they leave it in the car and it leaks out over time. And that stuff is way more toxic than anything that's in a regular car. Gas and oil going into the ground, guess what? It came from the ground. So it don't matter that much. You know what I mean? These lithium mines and things like that ain't designed to go back in. That's mined and that's that.
You're killing our Earth. Heavy metals, copper, cadmium, lithium, ion.
You naming all the battery components. You just named all
batteries are in cars. Eat one. Eat one.
Little tiny batteries.
Oh,
and a battery the length of the car that weighs 1,000 pounds.
I'm going to be honest. The thing I was just handed, it was too long to read. Gasoline, diesel fuels, and motor oil contain petroleum hydrocarbons. Petroleum hydrocarbons are toxic to aquatic life, and some are suspected or known carcinogens. Those with a high affinity for sediments can persist over time in bottom sediments, where they can be toxic to benthic communities. They have the potential to move off-site via stormwater and sediment runoff, either directly into surface waters or more commonly through storm sewers in heavily impacted areas. Vertical migration of contaminants in groundwater can occur. Do I know what that meant? No, sounds bad for the fishes.
I feel like I'm in science class.
Sounds terrible for the fishes.
Well, that's your EV chemicals leaking into your fish's environment right there.
No, because I'm pretty sure that was from your stuff, the diesel and the gas.
Oh.
Yeah, now you're the bad person.
Oh. I've already claimed that I like emissions.
So you don't like the EV cars, like the electric self-driving ones?
Don't like EV cars. Don't like EV bikes.
Why the bikes though?
When you go to any sort of vehicular event, it's the sound, it's the smell, it's the sight, it's the mechanical appreciation behind the power plant, and wow, bro, I love your battery. Dude, that thing is sick. What kind of battery is that? Nobody wants to ask that question.
You can talk all the shit you want on it, but at the same time, if you line those things up, off the rip, that EV is going to tear shit up.
Off the rip.
There's nothing stopping
take
it.
Any
It
EV,
doesn't.
Take any EV above 90 miles an hour, and it's going to get its ass dragged by a Honda Civic.
Listen, if I'm racing quick. I don't want RPMs. I just want to gas it and go. But not gas it, I guess. Just twist that throttle and crank it out.
Maybe the NHRA should take note, and maybe they'll have an electric bike class. But most competitive forms of motorsport are more than one lap. You know. Start that again. I'm sorry.
Me personally, I like the Zero because of the immediate power it can put out, the torque, not relying on RPMs. Like in particular, you know the Zero motorcycle, right?
I do.
Right. That thing has a max range of 171 miles. That's claimed, of course. It has 140 foot-pound of torque claimed, and a top speed of around 121 miles an hour with a charge time of 1.1 hours. It weighs about 518 pounds. Tell me that doesn't sound like a bike that would kick ass.
Yes, I would love to push my dead motorcycle to an outlet to charge it for an hour before I could go anywhere again.
Let me tell you something. If I was out riding for a whole day, I can go and have that fun. You know what I'm going to do when I get home? Oh, that was crispy. I usually do that with my teeth. Yeah, I think the Zero's a super sick bike, man. You can't really stop that thing. The Harley actually, fun fact, they have an electronic motorcycle. I rode it, I think it's called the Livewire. The Livewire is one of the coolest bikes I had ever ridden.
It is indeed not.
I'm not a Harley man. I don't personally like the feel of a Harley except for that Livewire. That thing was so fast for no reason.
What was so appealing about the Livewire?
The feel. It felt as though I could give it all the power that I had, and there was still more that it could do. I felt like I could put it on the line and absolutely dog walk anybody I went up to. That thing felt ostentatious.
So
that's what the word means, man.
So I guess view things.
Don't fact check me.
I guess I view things in a slightly different sense. You know, I don't want something that has that feel. If you're going to buy a motorcycle with a purpose,
you want the rumble.
Not even that. You want it to corner well. You want it to stop well. You want to do everything well. A battery in a bike in comparison to a motor doesn't go in the frame as well. The balance isn't as good. It's not going to corner the same. I mean, there's so many aspects that are so different in comparison that it doesn't seem like it's going to be a comparable. It's still going to be a riding experience, but it's not going to be the same riding experience.
I mean, it really depends on what you're driving, though. Like if you get an electronic bike that is like an adventure bike style or set up to go long distance riding, that's what these bikes are made for. These bikes are made to drive for a good long amount of time. The actual weight that they can carry is larger than that of a gas-powered machine.
As soon as you add extra weight to something electric, the range goes down.
In comparison, though, to a gas-powered vehicle, it's still going to be better.
No.
Yes.
No, the Ford Lightning is the perfect comparison.
I honestly don't know what a Ford Lightning is.
Well, I'll educate. We literally have one at the dealer, Jacob.
Oh, I love that thing, dude.
No, that thing's terrible.
That thing is so cool. We were driving in it the other day. and he put the reverse on.
Yeah.
And while he was backing up, I thought it'd just be like a normal backup camera. That thing had a backup camera with an alignment and a 360 viewpoint on top. I thought I was playing a video game looking at that thing. It was so cool.
You just behind.
Hey,
They've had that a while.
that's
The Ford Lightning gets like 300 miles of range or something with no trailer. You put a lightweight aluminum trailer with 4 motorcycles on it, you're going to get like 100 miles of range. Like gas trucks just do not have that kind of gas mileage deflation when you tow something. They're not as usable. It's not as usable.
I mean, the servicing on these bikes is going to be a lot cheaper, though.
The
servicing on these bikes is going to be a lot cheaper. Like the Stark, I believe the break-in service for that only costs like $200.
What is there to break in?
Tires?
Yeah.
Fucking, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely servicing on electric bikes is less until your battery pack goes out, just like any other hybrid. If you look at any electric car from the last 10 years, Nissan Leaf, Prius, all these different cars, the battery outweighs the cost of the car. And that's going to happen here. Because unless these companies really blow up and they really get popular and they have incredible parts and, supply for the materials needed, these people are going to have these electric things that are not going to work with nothing to do.
Chat, I'm about to cook.
Chad, I'm opening a beer.
Look, so you're buying these bikes from dealerships, right?
Yep.
You know what every single dealership that sells motorcycles is doing right now? Or most of them, the smart ones at least. These dealerships are doing something called batteries for life, or lifetime battery protection.
No, we do that.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah,
and you know what that does?
We do that sometimes.
You know what that does, Andrew?
What does that do?
If you get an electronic bike, that gives you, for the entire time you own that bike,
Jacob, you might want to read the fine print on the batteries for life.
it's for the lifetime of you owning the bike.
Jacob, it's the main power supply battery, not the motor.
Is that not how it works
No,
on an
no,
e-bike?
No.
Scratch that, reverse it, you win. I quit.
No, it doesn't give you an all-new drivetrain if your bike's
I thought it was just a battery, man.
Nah.
You're teaching me something here, Andrew. I appreciate that.
That's the term. That's the term. Auxiliary power battery.
Listen,
Yes,
man,
correct.
I just sell the shit in like the earth.
All right, you got to crank that back up since you butchered it.
I mean, shit. The battery is not going to cost as much as the bike. The Zero is $32,000. Battery?
So you're going to pay
Quarter of that.
$32,000 for something that will go 171 miles, and it takes an hour to charge.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I was going to say that, but with Harley, buying a $32,000 Zero and then shit-talking it when you have people that are spending $60,000 on an Indian Pursuit or $40,000 on a Harley Road Glide, the cost associated with riding shouldn't be a thing that is talked about as much as it is. This is not a cheap hobby. This is a fun hobby. People are going to go out here and they're going to spend a lot of money, but it's money that they want to spend to do the thing that they love. If I told you right now today that I could have the woman of your dreams come in this room, she's going to be there for you, she's going to love you, she's going to do everything that you would want in a partner, but you get to give her $5 a day. Are you going to give her $5 a day?
Yeah.
Because you love that thing, right? You love her. You want to be with her, and it is something that you enjoy, correct?
Yeah.
So spend money on what you love.
That's definitely a interesting outlook on that on this whole situation. I would just have to say that personally, I think that most people who are buying electric motorcycles are new to the world, and they're a little bit on the yuppie side. They're not really enthusiasts. The guys who have been riding since the 70s and 80s.
So let's get them enthused. What's the best way to get somebody enthused?
How would you enthuse? Man, crank this thing up for me. Let me see what it sounds like.
Or?
Oh, it doesn't make any noise. Well, that's a big part of the motorcycle experience. I want to hear it. I want to feel it. I want to be part of it. You have no connection to an electric vehicle.
Stick a Coke can in the tire, it'll sound the same, I promise you. No, it doesn't matter what it sounds like. I get where you're coming from. People love the sound of a bike. But at the end of the day, people love riding a bike. Your percentage on sound is going to be 10, 15%. There's some people out there that are fully there just for, I want to throw this acro or this FMF on there and have it sound super nasty, which is so cool. I'm so happy that you do that. But at the same time, if you're focused on the sound over the ride, you're not a rider.
It's part of it.
It might be your part of it, but it might not be Jimmy down the streets. Jimmy just wants to get out there and ride. Jimmy wants a fast bike that he can have fun on. Let Jimmy have some fun, man. Don't talk shit on his noise.
I just can't get behind it. It's part of any vehicle. It's part of it.
Understandable. I think at the end of the day, this feels as though one of those things that we might go back and forth on.
If people don't want engine noise, then why do all electric cars play fake recordings of their gas-powered counterpart? Oh, really? Electric bikes are using straight... Really? I actually didn't realize. I always thought it was chain noise. Is that actually just one straight cut gear? Really?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, well, see, I actually kind of like that, but it's a single
So
speed.
do they have noise then?
They do make, yeah.
Also, now it's past the sound. It's the sound that it makes.
Well, it's the sound...
They try to implement sound too.
Yeah, the electric motorcycle world has implemented one single straight cut gear, which if you've watched endurance racing or anything, or really any sort of car racing, you'd know that, it has that distinctive whine. But they use that technology. Damn. They use that technology because they have to emit some noise from somewhere. A water pump doesn't make enough noise to excite people.
That's fair. I get that. But now we're talking about how it does make noise. It's just not the right noise.
But let me loop back and we'll move on to the next topic. We just talked about earlier about people getting hit on motorcycles because cars couldn't detect them. Well, that's a car, that's technology. But at the end of the day, if your bike is making a bunch of noise, even if the car doesn't see you, the person's going to hear you. How are you going to hear an electric bike?
That whine that you were talking
Ain't no whir loud enough to hear from inside a car with the windows up with damn Cardi B playing. Fuzzy steering wheels don't see motorcycles, you know what I mean?
I think the number one rule for driving motorcycles is don't worry about how you're driving, worry about how everybody else.
You do have to worry about everybody else, there's no doubt.
So why would that change with an e-bike? If you're riding a motorcycle...
Because your variable of someone not realizing you're there goes up.
I get where
If
you're
there's
coming from.
noise associated with it, maybe they'll look up, maybe they won't. But if there's no noise associated, well, I'll be damned. But I didn't hear you.
But some people just don't care regardless. I mean,
Well, that's real valid. People can't drive.
some cars make close to no noise,
Mm-hmm.
and they still get into accidents. They still don't get into accidents.
Right.
These cars that make no noise and these cars that do make noise, they're still going to collide.
Yeah, they're going to run into each other.
They are going to run into each
gonna
other.
run into each other.
And you can't just blame that on the fact that you didn't hear the car. It's a whole car. You got your windows rolled up. If sound's the problem, then I get a speaker on the outside and just tune in, I guess. I don't know. That sounds fucking awesome.
That's because you like superheroes.
That's
You like spaceships and shit.
I love superheroes.
Bro, that is fucking horrible. I wish you hadn't shown me that.
That thing said,
All right, I can talk about this in the video for sure. All right, so I just wanted to kind of, wrap up what we've talked about so far, and we'll kind of move on to some more motorcycle industry-related news. Our lovely producer over here actually just decided to show me and Jacob a video of a new Charger EV startup. It could have been the worst noise I've ever heard.
Wrong.
So basically, in conclusion, you like polar bears and palm trees. I like noise and driving experience. So,
quick timeout.
yeah.
For the people who are listening who don't know what sound just played, imagine.
I'm gonna link it. So
Oh yeah, he's gonna link it, so it's fine.
We'll throw it in there so y'all can get a feel for why I'm angry.
It's as if a Transformer and Iron Man had a love child and turned it into a Dodge Challenger or whatever that thing
So
was.
this is coming from someone with Marvel tattoos. So
I do have Marvel
I want
tattoos,
everyone to keep in
but
mind.
who does not want to be Iron Man? I want to be Iron Man. Give me that whoop. That's so cool. What are you talking about? That is so awesome. I might just start an argument again because of it.
I don't think Iron Man would drive an EV.
I think Iron Man would only drive an EV. Why would Iron Man drive anything?
Well,
He could fly.
So,
Don't give me a Marvel.
going on, continuing. I mean, the market may be picking up for EVs, but I would also like to point out that Volkswagen almost went under this year. And then obviously relatable to us, KTM pulled the free ride due to lack of sales. They're going to redesign it and they're going to bring it back, but that just goes to show that, the tech that we have right now just isn't quite good enough to make it work. The range isn't there, the reliability isn't there, the unquote parts availability, when there's one part and it's ludicrously expensive, that's a deterring factor for a lot of people, even if the maintenance cost is lower, because there's no argument. If you don't have top ends and bottom ends and fluid changes and all the glorious things that you have to deal with on an internal combustion engine, especially a higher performance one that gives you the power of the electric ones, there's still just detrimental downfalls, in my opinion, that, there's other form. I mean, where's the hydrogen bikes? That's what I'm trying to see. Are they really?
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm
God,
just
what the
hearing
fucking idiots,
from.
bro. They're so broke.
I'm just hearing from my producer.
Everything.
Yeah, but there's Volkswagen as Volkswagen AG with excluding all the rest of the companies is broke. Oh,
I'm not even
Bro.
sure what to say about that. Yeah, Volkswagen picked up a new brand, and this brand actually looks really cool. It's the 2028 Scout Traveler.
2028.
Plan ahead.
Why?
Plan for the future.
Why?
So apparently,
went out of-
International went out of business,
They quit making
and
trucks then?
Volkswagen has picked them up. Yeah, the 2028 Scout Traveler. Don't talk shit about 2028. They're planning ahead, and that's a good thing. It's an off-road oriented brand called Scout. They're bringing something back that people love.
The
and they're making
International
it better.
Scout from the 70s.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Everybody loved the International Scout.
I think electric is the future. I don't think there's any real way around it. I like you're gonna have classic car people, but those classic car people driving 1978 Pontiacs are gonna turn into classic car people driving 2015 Chevy Camaros. Great car, by the way. Had it, lost it, won it back.
Was it a V6?
It was a V6.
Also
Don't talk
playing
shit.
The other end of the spectrum.
So interestingly enough, leave it to the Germans, who I'm a huge fan of the Germans personally. I'm a BMW guy. So
For the most part.
Porsche is
Got that
coming up with an e-fuel, and I personally believe that. So Porsche's coming out with an e-fuel, which is great. The Germans are always doing cool, quirky stuff. I'm a BMW guy myself, so I definitely enjoy that aspect.
Love me a Beamer.
They're coming up with a synthetic fuel that's basically splitting hydrogen and oxygen as a base, and they turn that in the end to an e-fuel. I think hydrogen is the way, personally.
I like that argument.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm a huge fan. It's still internal combustion, and it's not fossil fuels. So I'm all for it. If we can still produce a regular internal combustion engine, make it run on something else, not the same total basis, but people have been playing with it for a long time. And I'm a firm believer that hydrogen is going to be a lot stronger than electric in the future, because electric is going to die off. People don't realize but Tesla came out whenever with the gull wing doors and everybody lost their shit. Tesla has been making cars since like 2007, and they were a huge failure until Elon bought them out. Like, nobody even fucking realizes that. It's ridiculous.
Say fucking, you ain't got it.
All right. Fuck it.
I will say, I'm a firm believer of you got to walk before you can run. I do think that electronic vehicles are still going to be a big thing. I don't think there's any way around that. But I do believe that hydrogen fuel is one of the best options when it comes to a middle ground. Like, you still get what you want, I still get what I want. Emissions are going to be lowered by using this, but you still get a gas-powered vehicle. I like that. I think that's something we can agree on, no?
I think that's something we can agree on. Now what I can agree on. What I
Go
can
shake
agree
my
on.
hand.
We're shaking hands right now.
Yep.
What I can agree on is hybrids.
I like a hybrid.
I'm a big fan of a hybrid.
Cowie does have a new hybrid.
Do they?
Yeah, the Cowie hybrid. It's actually super cool. I drove one around not too long ago. The Cowie hybrid, I went into it not wanting to drive it.
Right,
But the actual ride on it, it was so smooth that I contemplated buying one then and there. I had a good amount more money at the time, but yeah, I seriously, riding around in that thing, it felt like butter, you know? It was smooth. The torque was what I wanted out of a bike like that. The drive overall was just naughty.
So I definitely do agree that hybrids do provide a well-rounded driving experience. I'm obviously not talking about a Prius, but if you do look at some of the higher-end hypercars and some of the endurance racing series, hybrid technology's taken over.
Speaking of, have you heard of the brand Segway?
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it's crazy. So Segway, you know, the scooter Paul Blart rides around in.
Yeah,
It's super cool.
yeah.
They started making side-by-sides.
I've seen them. Sweet. They are sick.
They
Actually.
get so much trash talk for being the brand Segway.
Yeah.
But these Segway side-by-sides are super fast.
No.
They have the Fugleman and they have the Villain. The Villain's the one that kind of looks like a Can-Am Maverick.
Oh yeah, long travel suspension. I mean, they're
I don't like it.
Sweet. You don't like
I don't like the Villain, but I do like that Fugleman. That Fugleman is a utility side-by-side, but it drives better than the Villain does. It's insane. What I do like about what Segway's doing, they released these models, and with the Villain, I believe it's the Villain, it's an all, what's it called, gas-powered machine.
Yeah.
But with the Fugleman, I believe, I might be flip-flopping them, they have a gas, like, plug-in, so you fill up, but on the other side is an empty compartment that you can open up, and it's just a circle. What they're doing is, for those models in particular, they're dropping out a hybrid, like, addition that you could put on there, so you can go gas or...
How much does that cost?
I'm not sure off the top of my head. Dylan's pulling it up right now.
All right.
That's the Super Villain. That's different.
Oh, that thing's ridiculous.
That comes with it.
So
Super-
that's the top of the line.
The Super Villain actually might be an all electric. No, it's not. It's not. The Super Villain's horsepower, I believe, is around 340. Which
That's
300
that's nut. I mean, that's like a Baja buggy spec.
right now the
And
biggest.
this is the hybrid one, or the hybridable
It's either electric or a hybrid, but okay. Yeah.
Oh, it's a GD. Is that a freaking Hyundai motor? No way.
What that does is, right now, the strongest side-by-side in the market, it's either the Can-Am Maverick or the Polaris Razor. Those horsepowers are around 180 to 220.
Yeah.
You're close to doubling that.
Right.
The horsepower and the output of this machine is absolutely insane. Segway is a brand that I would love to have on my floor because it is so cool.
So is it actually making this much power before or after the hybrid plug-in?
Oh my God! And the price.
Oh,
Side note.
I was. Whoa.
Go for it.
Whoa.
Go talk about it.
Is that with? Is it making that much power?
I believe that it's the hybrid model.
You believe it's the high? So you're saying
The Super Villain, again, I believe it's the hybrid. Correct me if I'm wrong.
you might have to.
That's okay. It hasn't. It's not out yet, but it's coming out either this year or next year.
30K.
30K.
30K. Like I say, I like hybrid, but paying $10,000 to get the most power out of your vehicle seems kind of
See, now you sound like a silly goose, and I'll tell you why. So you can spend $40,000 and get this hybrid model with 330 horsepower, which is super sick, drives insane, and is smooth as butter. Or you can spend $45,000 and get the Razor or the Maverick, which doesn't have as much power, still super cool machines.
Yeah.
But you're spending less money to get more power.
You just don't think you're getting as much for your money.
35. It's not actually that much more expensive.
No, so thankfully Dylan hitting us with some numbers so Jacob can quit yapping.
Yeah, but
We're looking
It's
at
$5,000.
We're looking at a $5,000 difference.
That's a $5,000 difference for less power.
Right, it's less power, but you actually get feel with your machine.
Listen, I understand where you're coming from. I like a Razor as much as the next guy. 225 horsepower compared to 330.
What's the weight difference, Dylan? Can you pull that up for us? Dylan, by the way, is number one with tech specs. He's here.
Oh, he's the
with
goat.
the laptop, working the trackpad, pulling.
That's our producer.
Yeah, number one producer, marketing.
Sometimes a lover.
If you need wedding photos, hit us up.
Yep.
Okay, Dylan's gonna look up this weight.
And how did we end up on different pages?
What do you mean?
We both like the hybrid.
Well, I do like the hybrid, but I think it's silly again in the market to be paying more money for a hybrid. There's no reason that they can't produce that power out of just a gas-powered engine and throw it on the market for what it is. Like, again, the tech is there, the tech works good, but there's no reason that as a consumer, the consumer's not going to want to pay more money. And I mean, $1,000 is one thing, 10 grand is crazy.
They're paying less money. They're paying $5,000 less to get the hybrid model with more power. More. Oh goodness!
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? They're paying $5 grand more for something, and at the end of the day, Segway is a smaller company. I know, obviously, no disrespect to Segway. They've been around forever. They've made a bunch of cool machinery, done a bunch of technology, but they're new to the power sports world.
I wanted a beer.
It's their first. Oh, hang on. Let me crack a beer in front of Jacob mid-argument.
That hurts.
Can I answer this phone call? Can we edit this out?
Yeah, just Jacob don't say anything.
Hey.
43.
Hey, any chance you're in Kannapolis?
I am. That is crazy. I am not in Kannapolis right now.
Oh,
Is that a woman?
Why?
because I'm in
Oh,
trying to
damn.
slide.
Well,
Just curious.
nah. My coworkers live in Concord, and we're still at the shop. We're doing a podcast. So, oh my gosh, Christina, I have you on speaker, and the whole shop is swarming because there's a woman on the phone.
Oh my gosh, you're doing a podcast?
Let me talk.
Yeah, we're doing. Hang on, my podcast partner wants to speak to you.
Hi, are you friends with Andrew by chance?
Yeah, 20 more minutes.
Yeah.
Andrew doesn't believe that he can pull women. Do you think Andrew has the ability to pull women?
Oh, this is staying in.
I mean, the track record is rough.
Are you guys like close homies?
Can you plug this in for me?
Yeah,
There's a
I think
USB at my desk.
Why don't you help him out, man?
We got 20 more minutes.
I've tried.
Yeah, you see, Christina's.
In my opinion, he tends to get stuck on some interesting.
You talking about trains and cranes, right?
All right. Hold on. Like, I'm in the middle of something right now. Can I just finish my question to him?
Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah.
Go
All
for
right,
it.
what's up?
All right, Andrew.
Yeah,
I'm in Indianapolis. My friend's car is not well.
your friend's car is not
They're
well.
saying- yeah, they're saying words to me, and I don't know the words.
Well, just
So-
hand the phone over.
Okay, well, it's something about. Well,
tell you
you can
exactly
walk back
how long,
in,
yeah.
but something about a throttle sensor.
Throttle,
What did he say?
throttle position sensor,
Yeah, that one or the air.
It's content.
the mass airflow
Hey,
sensor.
turn the volume up. Let her know that she's on the phone.
He said the problem with her car is either the throttle.
Andrew, our technical specialist.
But he said that it was in the pedal, and my dad looked it up, and my dad said it's in the intake.
What kind of car is this?
Mazda 3.
Oh, jeez. It probably is some stupid Japanese bullshit where the everything is internal to the intake. That makes sense.
So, like, she's a young teacher. Like, what's the easiest way, cheapest way to get her out of this?
I mean, low key, with it being 7 o'clock on a Wednesday and not fully knowing what's wrong. I mean, to be honest with you, probably tow truck.
You right, what?
Probably tow truck, to be honest.
Oh, I mean, it's drivable.
Oh, it is drivable?
Yeah,
Oh, limp it home.
right. But then, like, she has to go to work tomorrow. Like, she still has to get it fixed. So, like.
But he's
what-
saying it wouldn't be your fault.
Is it throwing any like check
But it
engine
would
lights or
ultimately fall on
anything?
him for
No
trusting.
code, no light.
Ooh, no code, no light. Well, see, that really makes troubleshooting difficult. All right, Christina.
We're
all
having
right.
troubleshooting,
Let me
Christina.
call you when I'm done with this.
All right.
All right, bye.
Tell her I love her.
Oh, I lived with her for 2 years.
And you didn't score.
Yeah,
There's a great bar in Indianapolis.
that's probably where she at.
Right
Sheesh.
next to the baseball field.
Yeah, that's the one she goes to. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all right.
that's the exact. Yeah, that's the exact one.
I don't know if you guys can hear, but that's my manager, Kaylin, talking.
13.
Get the last couple of points.
All right.
Are we getting into movie talk?
Well,
No, we getting into the new lineup for Honda this year. So do you want to start off? Why don't you start that off?
The new Honda lineup?
Yeah.
yeah, I listed a bunch of new models that come out.
I mean, all points have been proven. We know where everybody stands. We both like hybrids. Andrew doesn't want to spend a little bit extra money for a lot more fun.
Nope.
But
Absolutely not.
in other news, I do want to bring up Honda because they've got some cool stuff to talk about.
Absolutely.
This year, Honda unveiled its new lineup of motorcycles. The CB750 Hornet, it's a matte black and a matte pearl. They also have the CB1000 SP Hornet in a matte black, as well as the NT1100 DCT, aka the Africa Twin, in a pearl Hawkeye blue. Love Hawkeye, superhero. If you know, you
And
know.
a Subaru for those who know. Yeah, there you go, Dylan. There you go.
And the new Rebel 300 in a matte black, as well as the CRF 300L, which is getting upgraded suspension.
People are really going to be excited about that this year. I know that as our first full year as a Honda dealer last year, 300Ls and 300L rallies, absolute hotcakes. It's a total bang for your buck. It's a Honda. It's a 300. It's capable. I mean, if you're looking for a mid-sized dual sport, if you're not looking to get into a 500 or a 650, that 300 is a very, very strong competitor, especially in the rally trim level. It really comes out of the box of what the people want. So,
Yeah.
in true Honda fashion, all these years later, still releasing banging products out of the box.
Honda don't miss.
No, Honda does not miss. That is one thing about all industries: cars, planes, generators, motorcycles, side by sides, ATVs. Honda's got it on lock.
Honda and Can-Am got that unlocked. You know, the side note, I do want to bring up Can-Am. We're talking about machines that can do it all. Can-Am, personally, is one of my favorite machines in the market. One big reason for it is they have what's called the Rotax engine. That Rotax engine is one of the best engines in the market. It is in their planes, it is in their snowmobiles, it is in their jet skis, their Rikers, their Spiders. That thing is trusted in land, air, and sea. It's the Avatar of engines. It's actually super cool. Me personally, out of all those things, I am a snowmobile connoisseur. But have you ridden a Can-Am Spider?
So I've never ridden a Spider, but I can tell you that obviously Rotax has a great reputation for engines. And, you know, being surrounded in the car world my whole life, I have some friends in professional go-karting. And Rotaxes are the main power plant for a lot of the classes of it. And the response, the reliability, they rebuild them so much less than any of the other motors that people run. And I mean, Rotax is bulletproof no matter what sort of chassis you put it in. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
The Spider in particular, the reason why it's one of my favorites, it's one of those machines that anybody can drive no matter what. The way it works, since you haven't ridden one, I'll give you a little lowdown. It has a set of semi-automatic paddle shifters, meaning you press the plus on it and it'll go first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. But while you slow down, instead of having to downshift on all of them, it'll bring you back down automatically from fourth to third to second to first. It'll keep you in first, though. The only way to get out of first is to downshift it into first. There's no clutch. There's no hassle with any of it. It has reverse as well. I actually believe the new models have a backup camera on it, which is kind of crazy because you're on a three-wheeled machine
Kind of crazy
turn
to
around.
turn around. Yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah. No, the Riker, I mean, everything, not the Riker, the Spider, everything down to the setup to the display is phenomenal. I personally believe it is one of the best driving machines in the market in ordinance with Honda. Honda and Can-Am, for me personally, go hand in hand. You can't really have one without the other as far as dependability, reliability, and durability. Honda, with anything from the Honda Accord to the CBR 1000, those things are tanks, man. If I drove my 1999 Honda Accord into a lake and then pulled it out the next day, it'll start up. It'll take me to where I need to go, Walmart, Food Lion, the bagel shop. It doesn't matter. I love both of those machines, and they do no wrong in my eyes.
No, and you know, it's really crazy that you bring up Honda reliability. And, you know, everyone I've ever known that's had a Honda is just the happiest person on earth. Of course, I've chosen to suffer owning BMWs. But
Me too.
all Honda owners are happy with their cars. Their upkeep costs are low, and it transitions straight over to everything else they make. Like I said earlier, a lawnmower, a generator. But there is still that 1 percentile, like David in our parts department. He blew a Honda up. Do you know how much talent that takes?
You got to be a silly goose to do that.
Oh my gosh, the silliest of all the geese. Yes, no, there's no doubt about it. Justin was a road racer on a ZX10, quite a unit. Obviously not racing anymore. Andy in our service department, also a Southeast road racer. You know, that's the road racing's a big part of it, and you know, a lot of people are involved.
Side note.
Yeah.
I'm just getting some crazy shit here. Triumph is in the world of off-road now.
Where you been?
Where have I been?
Yeah, where you? Yeah, it's been like 2 years, Jacob.
No, I have never seen these. What are you talking about?
That's that ride now. So, yeah, with Jacob not knowing about the Triumph, obviously, I follow the off-road world a little closer. Triumph is actually coming out with a 250 and a 450 street legal enduro bike this year. So that should definitely be interesting. I know that their off-road AMA program and coming out with a production dirt bike. I know sales weren't quite as strong. I'm sure most of you saw them on sale. The people that do have them seem to be pretty happy with them. So it'll definitely be interesting. I'm surprised they're not coming out with a 500. But I guess the 450 really does compete with, you know, a lot of the market. KTM has the 500. They're kind of on their own. But definitely should be interesting to see how it all works out for them. You know, I'm sure Ducati will be soon to follow with them coming out with a dirt bike, but I guess it's always cool to see you know, brands making other stuff come out with different units.
Can-Am's making a e-bike this year. Side note.
Oh, an e-bike.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You're coming full circle here.
Electric dirt bike. Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't be more excited.
I think Can-Am's e-bikes are going to be sick. I think e-bikes in general are going to be sick. I know your thoughts on it, and that's okay. We're still friends. But yeah, honestly, I enjoyed this conversation with you. This has been fun. I'm happy to do it again next week.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely learned that e-bikes you think are sick, and e-bikes make me a little sick. So definitely a difference in outlook there. But obviously, we got to keep up with some local news going on around here. So there's obviously coming into spring. CMP is going to have some good track days coming up. I think they're doing supermotos, SMEC, all kinds of stuff. So we'll definitely be out there. We encourage all you guys who are involved to be out there as well. We're also going to be out as a dealer. We'll have a booth and probably some bikes and some parts, and we'll be there for the people. Black Ankle Raceway.
Black Ankle Raceway is a sick name.
Yeah, it is a pretty cool name. I mean, it sounds like you probably got hurt, but that's the name of the game.
That's the point, man.
It's the name of the game. If you're not going home bruised, did you really have a good time?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're officially Evan Motors now. We're in Charlotte.
Evan Motors.
So we'll be having a bike night. Me and Jacob will absolutely. Well, I guess I should say Jacob and I gotta keep it proper. We're going to be out there. I'm sure a few more of the staff will be out there. We'll all, have some live music for y'all. And it's going to be a Moo and Brew in Matthews. Definitely a killer burger spot in Charlotte. I know Jacob's a burger man.
Oh, God.
Justin, our manager, is just absolutely ludicrous for Moo and Brew. Before any of this was even planned, he was eating lunch there. So, if you like a brew and you like a moo, come on out. Come hang out with the Evan Motors crew. You can actually see a face to the voice from the podcast here tonight.
Sexy voices and sexier faces, let me just tell you.
Jacob's sexier than me.
Appreciate it. Side note, Andrew and I are both 3 beers deep at this point.
Yeah.
Might call my mommy.
Yeah, but beers is in the name. I mean, we're not just gonna, sit here and not brew it up.
Yeah.
And again, Moo and Brew, be there. I mean, we're
Yep. But yeah, this is Bikes, Beers, and Bros. I'm here with
Andrew,
and this is your boy Jacob Tyson, aka T Dizzle, aka Mr. Take Your Girl Swish and
See,
Swizzle.
I didn't know Jacob was going to do all that. So on the next podcast, I'll have a better outro.
But yeah, this is Bike, Beers, and Bros. Please tune in next time. We love to hear feedback, and we'd love to talk to you again. John Cena's flip was insane, by the way.
Did John Cena ride motorcycles?
No, he just turned into a bad guy.
Oh, okay.